What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, I'm getting set up for another install. Gonna be adding this upgraded Grams 1.8T high flow manifold. As you know already, I'm gonna be running the Matosa Stage 3. I already have the hybrid turbo and everything installed, and a lot of other parts. You saw I just installed the forged front mount intercooler and all. If you guys are new here, you can just go back and look through the last few videos to see what I've done. But anyway, this is the Grams 1.8T high flow manifold, and they designed this one to be good even on the stock turbo, to just flow better, whereas some of the other ones are mainly for when you go big turbo. So this one is good for from the stock turbo all the way up to a big turbo. So since I you know, improved on everything else, I wanted to go ahead and add this. As you can see, it's got this bigger plenum, and you can see how it necks down. And what that does is it lets almost all of the ports almost flow evenly. They flow pretty close together. The main one that doesn't get the best airflow is cylinder 4, because it's furthest away from the throttle body. So that's why they necked this down right here, aimed it down, so this one will get better airflow going into the cylinder. So it just balances them out, and then gets a lot more air, because you can see they have these velocity stacks built in, and you can see in there they open up here and then neck down, and they're raised also. It's almost like mini throttle bodies on the inside of the manifold. So it just flows real good. And then I got the small port ones, because, you know, I'm running small port head. The only thing about this is when I went over mine, because this is cast, there were some imperfections. There were some raised spots and some low spots. So I just went through each of them, and you can see I smoothed them out, made them all even all the way through till they were all, you know, basically smooth, going all the way around. And then on the other side, you can see here where the injectors come through. On each one of them, when I put my finger in there, there was like some raised metal, I guess from when they machined it through. It kind of like pushed the metal, but it pushed it like going into the intake track, and that was going to affect flow, because you can see this intrudes into the to the port. So what I did was I just took a little Dremel and I smoothed out each one of them right there on the little roof of that. Let me see, right there on each one. So it's smooth now, so the air is just gonna pass right by it. And then the other thing is they had a sharp edge right here, so the air would come down, and then there was just like a sharp I guess when they machined this, you know, the machine just goes through and machines it out like that. So it just left on each one, it was just like this sharp edge going into there. So I also went in there and just smoothed those out too. So the air is just going to come in and go right around that now. So I, you know, just massaged it a little bit, because also if you look back through the videos, when I put the head on, before I sent it to the shop to get rebuilt, I gave it a mild port job too, and I could already feel the benefits from that already. But I did all that, so this should be flowing even better now. It comes with this gasket right here. I think it's phenolic. It's a thin one though. It's phenolic, so it kind of feels somewhat soft. And they say you can just reuse it over and over again. And it comes with this these ports right here, and these crush washers to go in, so you can you know, set it up however you want. And this manifold, this plenum, you can switch it around either way, because the 180s are going to be on the driver's side, no, on the passenger side. The throttle body be on the passenger side, whereas the 225s are on the driver's side. So mine will be going like this. So the other thing was I still have this 034 phenolic gasket. So I think I'm gonna run this one with this, because this one spaces it out some away from the head. So that's also gonna increase the volume of this manifold a little bit. But the other thing is it's gonna space it out away from the head more to keep even more heat transfer from transferring to the head to this, so it'll run cooler. Then the other thing is I saw some install videos of this where when you want to put these in the stock location, these ports right here, they will go in the bottom right here. So these will be on the bottom, but the alternator is right under it. And some people saying that on some setups it interferes with that. And so spacing this out is going to take this further away from the alternator. That way I can keep these ports on the bottom instead of on the top. And then another thing you can do though with this is, you can see these are pretty long and they're notched. So you really could just cut one of these off to make this shorter. So that's another thing you could do too, because I want to keep everything, like all the wires and stuff, out the way. I'm even gonna try to reroute the wires of the fuel injector harness to probably come through these, so it's not over it, to make the engine bay look a little cleaner. And it's gonna be doing all that going from there. So another thing is they opened this throttle body port up to 70 mil, but the stock throttle body is like a 60 mil. I think some even said it's like 57 or 58 or something like that, but it's pretty small. So you can kind of see the difference right there. So let me see if you can see this. Probably won't be able to hold the camera and do this at the same time. But it's like that much different. You can see the difference on the inside. So they do make a 70 milligrams throttle body. I was thinking about getting to go with this. I'll just have to the throttle body boot. I would just have to get a bigger boot to go on there somehow, and you know, probably some type of transition coupler or something to mount to the factory hose or whatever, and then go from there. So that'll be what I'll be doing. And I'm also gonna put some of this Teflon tape on some of the hardware, because it didn't come with instructions or anything, but I got this one because it has extra Teflon built into it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the thread, so I put it in just to make sure it doesn't have any leaks or anything. And the plenum comes with this gasket right here, so I'll be good there. All right, I'm gonna get set up to put this in. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I just got the old manifold out. See how dirty this thing is. To let you guys see the port work I did. You can see here I didn't open up this hole. What I did was the actual ports going to each valve itself, I just opened it up a little bit and I knife edged the port way going to each valve. The middle valve was that one actually had a lot. It was almost like it had a shroud going around it a little bit. But each one I just opened it up a little bit, so you know, when the incoming air has a better path going into it. And I felt a difference after I got the car back up and running, so should be good. See, I got a mess of wires to clean up later, but I think I'm just install the new one for now, because I still got, like, before, when I do the tune, I got to do the injectors and some other stuff, and I got to find out about the deletes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just install this for now and then go from there. All right, you guys, I just assembled it, took off the old one. and I cleaned the throttle, but it was real dirty. But you can see how small it is. This thing is real small. And let's see if I can compare it to the whole. Well, you can't really tell from here, but it's a lot smaller. Well, 10 millimeters smaller than that one. And here it is against the stock one. But here's a comparison between the two manifolds. You can see this one has a much bigger plenum. And that's how you get all that, and then the way it's shaped. See, this one goes down. And see, it actually goes past the fourth cylinder, what you call it. And then you can see the inside. Let me put it in the light. You can't really see. Yeah, you can't really see it, but then of course this one, you guys saw that. So it's that versus that. And then what else? Oh, the bottom. Oh, this is one thing I saw. This, because on the stock man, you can see it comes out in 90s over. This one comes straight out. So hopefully that won't be an issue, but I got a new hose on there, so it shouldn't be. But on the bottom here, you can see I kind of like did the ports just like OE. These two are facing this way though. And then it has this one port for that suction pump right here. But this one is a lot smaller port. So hopefully that won't be an issue. Or else I might have to find something with the same thread size, but with the bigger port. I might go look for that actually. But another thing is my fuel pressure regulator, and I have that teed off, the vacuum line teed off, so I'll have a source for my boost gauge. So with this manifold though, what I can do is I can just put another port right here. So this could be strictly for the fuel pressure regulator, and then I could run the boost gauge port someplace else, so it'll have its own port, probably with one of these, and that way, you know, nothing's messing up the signal from the fuel gauge or anything. So I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna go look for a fitting with the bigger port for this, so it'll match that suction port. Then I cleaned off this sensor. Sensor was dirty. Sometimes when you look at them at first, they don't look like they're that dirty, but once you put some cleaner on it, spray some, you'll see how dirty they really are. So this is the air temp sensor, and on this manifold it goes on the bottom, so it's going to be down here, whereas on the stock manifold it's on the top. Shouldn't affect anything, it's just going to be in a different location. Actually should make it look cleaner, have more of the wires and stuff out of the way. So but anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I still got to tighten a few things up on that. So I tried to get the Teflon tape on these, but the tape was too wide. So I just made sure I tightened these well enough so that that copper ring was crushed and sealed real good. And like I said, this already had new injector cups, so that should be a good thing too. All right, I'm gonna get back to it and get right back with y'all. Check this out, y'all. I got this mounted, not mounted, but I kind of just fitting it up just to see how everything was gonna fit. So you can see down there that one of the bolts down there, it's like flush because I have the thicker 034 gasket on it. But what I could do is just take those out and put some of these longer bolts in there. So that will solve that. And then I tried to mount the injector harness behind to kind of keep the wires out of the way, but you can see it's really pulling on them. So I might have to undo the harness to get all that to fit better. But other than that, you can see right there, these two are by the right by the alternator. With the thicker gasket in there, the phenolic gasket, it pulls it away. But without it, it's like right there. But what I could do is I could cut one of these off And this too right here is kind of close. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut one of these off, and then I'm gonna cut this shorter. I'll probably cut it like probably about right there. Cut it off about right there, and that'll give me clearance away from this. But the other thing is, you can see right here where the throttle body goes, it's almost looking like might not reach. And if it does, it's going to be like real tight, real close. Then I'm probably going to have to rotate the throttle body around so that servo motor part will be on the bottom. And the harnesses are reaching everything. It's just the getting this hose onto the throttle body might be an issue. So I'm gonna deal with all that, and then I'll come back, see what we got. Right, you guys, I finally got it together. It wasn't easy though, because like I said, you know, there's a lot of stuff you gotta reroute. And you can see right here, my intake hose, that's one of the problems you guys are gonna run into, because this one sets up higher. So when I got this hose, I never did trim it though. So I don't know if you can see right there how it is. I have to trim this so it'll push it forward, and then that'll open up. But it's running fine for now. Everything seems cool. I wasn't able to run the harness under the box. I completely unwrapped it, but the two over here, the wires, when they came up, they were kind of stretched. So I didn't like it like that. So what I did was, you can see what I did. I just ran them around the back here instead of over this. So I took some friction tape, covered it with some friction tape, and then I covered it with some high temp vinyl tape. And then later on, I'll get a cover to go over the loom to run it across the back to protect it more from the heat. But it'll be fine for now. I didn't run the 034 because it actually brought it out more and higher. So I've run the stock, not the stock, but the phenolic spacer that came with this, because it's thinner, and it just brought it down because I was worried about it touching the hood. So I'm gonna be running that for now, and you can see where I cut this one back, and then I shortened this hose to keep it away from that. Then I had to bend these fuel lines down because they were kind of touching this. So I bent them down. You can see these fuel lines. I'm gonna have to replace those soon. And then you can see the rest of the wiring down there. I'm gonna have to deal with that more to kind of tuck some of the wire away and shorten some stuff. And then you can see I did the throttle body sideways, so that other part is usually up, but it would have been up like that. And then, but that made it to where I could run the harnesses to the back and everything. They're kind of out of the way too. So, I mean, it's all right. I mean, not bad or anything like that. I just want to clean it up a little more. But that'll be coming too, because I'm gonna be doing some more work in the engine bay. I still have to, next thing I have to do is install the high pressure fuel pump. And then I'll be doing the wideband harness so I can do the tune. So that's next. Like I said, I still got to trim that hose, but let's take it for a drive right quick and I can see how it performs. Y'all gotta excuse if you hear stuff rumbling around in here, because I still got a lot of stuff in the car that I'm going to be cleaning out tomorrow. A lot of tools and stuff in the back. I did a throttle body adaptation. When I first started it, the idle was going, it was like a misfire. So I did throttle body adaptation, got a little better, but then there was a vacuum hose that I hooked up by accident from a D-lead I did before, and that's what it was. because I ran the for the codes, and it said I had a small evap leak, but it was because there was a hose that was hooked up on one end going to the manifold that wasn't hooked up to the other end. So when I put it back, it was like perfect. So you should probably always do a throttle body adaptation anyway, regardless if you take the throttle body off for any reason. But the car feels real smooth after I did that. Yeah, it feels real smooth. You can feel the when the power, when the boost hits, it's not like peaky like it was before. It comes on smooth. Then it seems like it has a little bit more top end now. Feels like the car breathes a lot more. Let's see if I can make a U-turn right here. That idle feels real smooth. Drive and shift with one hand. And this is the first time I'm driving with the intercooler also. With the new intercooler. But you can feel the intercooler's flowing real good. There's really no lag or anything that I feel from that it had, you know, any more than it had from before or anything like that. I almost can't wait to see what the tune is gonna feel like now. And I was thinking about doing the upgraded throttle body. I did a little research on that they did with different throttle bodies. They did the Hemi throttle body, which is 80 millimeter. They did the RS4 2.7T, which is 75. And then they did the 70 and the stock one. And they were saying how they all performed and what they would, you know, which cars they would be good for and at what stage of tune. And they were saying that the RS4 75 millimeter throttle body seemed to perform the best, but it would be for, like, you know, if you're running like a big turbo or something like that. So the 70 mil would be perfect for this car. So I'm really thinking about running that one now, because they were talking about how you know, that you really need to watch out running a big turbo with the stock throttle body. Not that this is a big turbo, but so I'm thinking about go ahead and getting that 70 millimeter. The only thing about that is they don't make an intake hose to fit that one. But based on how mine is fitting, I mean, I would have to get another 90 that goes from like 80 mil to 70 mil, and that would make that bigger throttle body fit. But on this manifold, they should have angled the throttle body down more. That would have put it in a better position of where your stock throttle body hose is going to on this car. That's what they should have done. So I guess we'll see what happens going from there. I see my ABS lights and stuff are on from having the car in the air and having the wheels move. So I need to drive. I think it's like you drive it 10 miles and they shut off. Then my airbag light, I have to hook up a harness on this seat. So I'll be doing that soon. And then engine light is because of, you know, I've done some deletes. So I got to hook some stuff up for that. So, but anyway, Seems pretty cool. I like it, but I'm thinking, like I said, I'm thinking about going ahead and getting the 70 mil throttle body and going that route, because I think it's going to make the car a lot smoother with the tune. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, how you like it. I think this probably should be black, because originally I wanted to put my stock engine covers back on. I was going to paint the little middle piece and do something to it, but you can see this one doesn't have a provision for you to put the two hookups on the front. I mean, you could probably make some bracketing or something, but you know, I might go ahead and paint this one black or something, and then maybe make a custom thing for this. Maybe it's something that says TT or something right there. But and put the rest of the covers back on, the side ones. I still have to relocate the battery and all that, but anyway, I'm gonna cut this video here. Let me know what you guys think. I liked it, like I said, just the install and getting everything figured out and moving everything around and all that. So if you guys get one, just be prepared for all that. But leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.